we'd like to show you the FAQ. This video categorizes over the 400 questions we received in advance into 14 categories and provides answers. We believe this video addresses about over 90% of all questions. The video is about 20 minutes long. Please do take a look. So please proceed to the
eligibility requirements for invitees. 1. Invitees must be master's students, doctoral students, or postdoctoral researchers affiliated with an Indian university or research institution. Universities and research institutions located in India, and generally under 40 years of age. Age limit relaxation is available for circumstances such as childcare or nursing care responsibilities. 2. Is it mandatory for invitees to remain affiliated with an Indian university or research institution throughout the invitation period? 2. Invitees are required to maintain affiliation with an Indian university or research institution throughout the invitation period. 3. Are master's students eligible as invitees? Are graduates or unaffiliated individuals ineligible? 3. Master's students are eligible. However, graduates who are unaffiliated cannot be designated as invitees. 4. Are undergraduate students ineligible as invitees? 4. Undergraduate students and individuals without institutional affiliation cannot be designated as invitees. 5. Are Indian students enrolled at overseas institutions ineligible as invitees due to their lack of affiliation with Indian institutions? 5. Individuals without affiliation to an Indian university or research institution cannot be designated as invitees. 6. What are the priority research fields? 6. 7 priority fields have been established: AI/information, intelligent robotics, biotechnology, energy, materials, quantum, semiconductors, and network/telecommunications. 7. Is interdisciplinary research eligible if it can be linked to the priority fields? 7. Applications are welcome if the research can be linked to related fields. Interdisciplinary research is also encouraged. 8. Are research publication records mandatory for application? 8. Research publication records are not mandatory requirements. 9. Can applicants without published papers apply? 9. Applicants without published papers may be designated as invitees. 10. Can applicants from Indian universities other than IITs apply? 10. Indian research institutions are not limited to IITs. Many research institutions from across India have been selected in both FY 2024 and FY 2025. Where Indian side researchers apply directly to JST. What procedures are required for application? How should application documents be submitted? 1. Direct applications from students or Indian side researchers are not accepted. Only applications submitted by Japanese side PIs through ERADS will be accepted. 2. Is prior communication between the Indian PI and Japanese side PI mandatory for application? 2. Mutual agreement between the Japanese side PI and Indian PI is mandatory for preparing the application. JST does not provide automatic matching services. 3. Is reapplication permitted? 3. Reapplication for proposals submitted in FY 2024 and FY 2025 is permitted. 4. Is it possible to change the Indian PI after selection? 4. PI changes after selection are possible, subject to approval by the program officer, PO. 5. Can a single Japanese side PI submit multiple LOTUS applications? 5. Multiple applications by the same Japanese side PI are permitted. 6. Can multiple students be dispatched under one application? 6. Please submit one application per invitee. 7. Can multiple students be dispatched to the same host? 7. Dispatching multiple invitees to the same host is permitted. 8. When does the program start? 8. Research is expected to commence on or after October 1st, 2026. 9. What is the application deadline? 9. The application deadline is June 9th at 12 o'clock noon Japan time. Selection results are expected to be announced after late August. 10. Is there flexibility in arrival timing in Japan? 10. The timing of arrival in Japan can be flexibly arranged according to the research plan. However, this call solicits proposals for invitations to commence within FY 2026. 11. Is a prior MAL inter-university agreement required? 11. A prior MAL inter-university agreement is not required. What is the difference between LOTUS, basic type, and LOTUS, aspire type? 1. LOTUS, basic type, has a maximum duration of 12 months, while LOTUS, aspire type, has a maximum duration of 36 months. Please refer to the explanatory materials for details on support content. 2. Which type should I apply for? Can I apply for both simultaneously? 2. Please select between basic type and aspire type based on the scale and duration of your research plan. Simultaneous application to both is permitted. 3. Is it possible to transition from basic to aspire? 3. Transition from basic type to aspire type is planned to be permitted, subject to PO approval. What are the most important evaluation criteria in the selection process? 1. The selection criteria are as follows. The proposed research activities are consistent with the objectives of the program and are expected to produce the outcomes that the program aims to achieve. LOTUS, basic type. The proposed research activities have clear significance for implementation within the relevant research field/area. LOTUS, aspire type. The proposed research activities demonstrate originality and superiority within the relevant research field/area. The objectives to be achieved within the implementation period, the implementation plan, and the budget plan are specific and appropriate. The applicants possess the necessary track record and capabilities required to execute the proposed activities. Whether the Japanese principal investigator and the Indian principal investigator possess sufficient qualifications for conducting the proposed joint research and joint supervision. Whether the invitee possesses sufficient qualifications for conducting the research activities. Are there numerical criteria such as HPA or number of publications? 2. There are no numerical criteria such as HPA or number of publications. 3. Do gate or net examinations affect the evaluation? 3. Gate/net examinations do not affect the selection process. 4. How is interdisciplinary research evaluated? 4. Interdisciplinary research is also welcome. Please also describe the relevance to the priority fields. 5. Is Japanese or English language proficiency required for invitees? 5. Japanese and English language proficiency are not included in the selection criteria for invitees. JST introduced Japanese side PIs to Indian PIs. How should Indian PIs identify potential Japanese side PIs? 1. JST does not provide introductions or matching services. Please contact laboratories at potential partner universities and research institutions directly to discuss collaborative research opportunities. 2. Is it required that the research institution or PI has previously participated in the LOTUS program? 2. Prior participation in the LOTUS program by the research institution or PI is not required. 3, is there a list of host institutions in Japan participating in this program? 3, please check the LOTUS program website for previously selected institutions. 1, what is the duration of stay for the LOTUS program? 1, the duration of stay for LOTUS, basic type, is up to 12 months from the research start date, and for LOTUS, aspire type, is up to 36 months. 2, is it possible to apply for a short-term stay of 6 months? 2, there is no minimum duration requirement. 3, is it possible to divide the stay into multiple visits? 3, multiple visits during the stay period are permitted. 4, is there a limit on the number of visits to Japan for Indian PIs? 4, there is no limit on the number of visits to Japan for Indian PIs. Is it possible to develop existing collaborations into LOTUS proposals? 1, it is possible to develop existing collaborations into LOTUS proposals. 2, is it possible to apply with a PI who has previously participated in LOTUS? 2, prior participation in the LOTUS program is not a requirement. 1, can an Indian PI submit multiple applications? 1, multiple applications by the same Indian PI are permitted. Is the LOTUS program a degree granting program? 1, the LOTUS program is not a degree granting or awarding system. 2, is the LOTUS program a fellowship? 2, the LOTUS program is not a fellowship system. 3, what outcomes are expected from the program? 3, the program expects the creation of tangible exchange and research outcomes through joint research. 4, is paper publication mandatory? 4, outcomes such as paper publications are welcome, but not mandatory. 5, will a completion certificate be issued? 5, a certificate will be issued to invitees upon completion of the research period. Living expenses provided. 1, JST provides support funds, including living expenses to the Japanese host institution. 2, is accommodation provided? 2, please confirm with the Japanese host institution. 3, is travel allowance provided? 3, initial travel expenses from India to Japan and final return travel expenses from Japan to India are not covered by JST support. 4, are there family allowances or support for invitees' families? 4, JST does not provide family allowances or support for invitees' families. Is international airfare, India left right arrow Japan covered? 1, initial travel expenses from India to Japan and final return travel expenses from Japan to India cannot be covered by JST support funds or research expenses. 2, are domestic transportation costs in Japan covered for invitees? 2, transportation costs for invitees related to research activities may be covered from joint supervision expenses, basic type, or joint research expenses, aspire type. 1, are research expenses, consumables, etc. supported? 1, joint supervision expenses, basic type, and joint research expenses, aspire type, may be used for consumables and other expenses. 2, are initial setup costs included? 2, initial setup costs are permitted only in the first year of aspire type. Is there career support for invitees after program completion? 1, upon selection, invitees will be registered with the LOTUS Program Club and will receive follow-up support, including relevant information. 2, does this lead to employment or postdoctoral opportunities in Japan for invitees? 2, JST does not directly mediate employment opportunities. 1, who handles visa arrangement? How is accommodation arranged? 1, we request that the host institution provide support for visa, accommodation, and other procedures after selection.